This video will show you how to assemble our Salvador Dragon Doll. First, I'll go through the things that you'll need. We have made this blueprint for you, where you can refer all the pieces and how the doll is assembled. You can find a link to this file down in the description. You'll need elastic. I use 2 different thicknesses. I will put more information about these down in the description, such as how thick these strings are and how much of it you need. You'll need scissors for cutting the string. This is optional, but I always use matches. I like to burn the ends of the elastics so they wouldn't fray while I'm stringing the doll. You will need tweezers with really tiny ends. Later you will see why. And you'll maybe need pliers. I'm not sure if you will, but I do because I really lack some strength in my hands. This is a must. You'll need metal wire that you can bend rather easily. We will use this to make tools so we can get the string through the tricky parts of the dragon. And of course you'll need something to cut that wire with. So let's start with our blueprint. I always like to start assembling the doll from the wings. So first we will gather the parts. There is the torso and the tiniest balls that comes with the dragon, and 2 pieces of wings. The wings are exactly the same. It's also same with the legs, like there is no left and right. They all can work in both of the sides. For the wings we will be using the thinner string, and this is actually the only place where we can use the thinner one. So let's start with putting 1 bead through the string. And yeah, here you can actually see the fraying of the string, so I'm gonna go and burn the end of it. There really are some parts of this process that are so much easier to do if you have burnt the end. So let's get started with the wing. As you can see, there is this beam in the inside, and our goal is to place the string around this beam and come back out. And how this is done is that you'll take your tweezers and you'll grab the end of your string, and you can see on the inside the other side actually has more space than the other. So we are gonna push the string in from the smaller side. Once you get it pushed past the beam, it will be easier. It will have some grip. And you will really just keep pushing it downwards, until it goes underneath that beam, and you will be able to see the end of the string on the other side of the beam. Well, you can see here, now it's on the other side. This is how it's supposed to look like before you pull it out. But yeah, you just grab the end of the string and you pull it out, and you'll be able to keep going. As you can see, both of the ends of the strings are out, and we can go back into that bead. Now you have successfully stringed 1 wing, and we're gonna take the string and put it through the torso of the dragon. You will need the tweezers here in order to grab the string and pull it out on the other side. And now we just need to repeat the process. We'll go through the bead, we take the wing, we gotta get past the beam, and then we need to go back again through the torso. Now, as our goal is eventually to cut the elastic, we want to pull out all the extras and make the pieces tight. So as you can see, I'll leave one end short and I will tighten the other side, and this way we will minimize the amount of string that we'll be wasting once we will tie it and cut it. So now let's make a first knot and pull it really tight. And after that you gotta test that the body parts are posing, they stays in the positions you want. That means that it is tight enough and you can proceed and go make the other knot. Whee! Well, now we can cut the strings. And once the strings are cut, you can go with your tweezers and put the ends of the strings inside of the doll. And there you have it! And now you have successfully stringed your first doll parts and you have functional wings. And as I said earlier, this is the only body part where I use the tinier string, so we can wrap this up and get the thicker one. And next we will move on onto the neck and head. At this point I'll mention this handy tool. I use this a lot as I do assemble these dolls very much. It really fastens the process. You can use this to measure the sizes of the balls, and you can refer to your blueprint where which sized balls goes. But this is definitely not necessary. If you have only one doll, it is totally possible and easy and fast to assemble, even without this. So here we will be using the thicker elastic. We will go and put all the beads and pieces through, and make sure that you put the pieces in the right way, so the smaller, if there's bigger and smaller end of a part, the smaller part of course towards the head. I have actually assembled one dragon that way, that I forgot one piece from the middle. There was two balls next to each other, and yeah, trust me, it was really heartbreaking that I had to take it apart and string it again. You don't want to go through that, so make sure you put all the parts right there. Okay, so here we have it. All the parts are on the string, and next we are going to attach the head. This actually works a bit differently than the wing. I'll show you. We will need one of these little tools that we can make with the wire. Alright, my camera overheated there. You will want to create this kind of a loop and make it big enough so the string can go through it easily, but also small enough that it fits inside of the head. And as you can see from the inside, the loop has to be there, that way that it reaches the other side of the beam. And now our goal is to place the string through this loop so we can pull the string out from the other side. And you need to feed it in there enough so there will be enough string that when you pull it out that it will reach all the way to the out. And once you think there is enough string in there, you can go and pull the wire out. And there you have it, the other end of the string. So now we need to go back through the pieces, but as you can see, it's nearly impossible to push this through with the other elastic in. You gotta make this kind of a thing, and it will work like a needle. Place the string between the wires so it is like a thread in the needle. Make sure that you make this piece long enough. If it's too short, it will be annoying to work with, because then you need to be pulling it through the pieces all the time. And now let's place the needle through the pieces. So essentially, once you've got your pieces in your needle and you have your needle full, you will use your pliers and pull the elastic through. This is actually kind of hard to do because there will be 3 elastics at the same time in those tiny holes, so it might require some strength, and I definitely would not be able to do this without the pliers. So now you'll just need to go through all of your pieces with your needle and get the elastic through. Once you've got your neck assembled, we'll need to attach it to the body. In the body, there is once again one of those beams, and we will need to get the elastic go from behind it. And in order to do that, we will grab once again one of our wire tools. This time you can make the loop in the end a bit bigger, so it will be easier to get the elastic through it. So shape the wire so that it can peek from behind of the beam. You can see it from the other side, and it is possible to place the elastic through. And make sure here that you feed enough elastic in there, so once you pull it out, that the elastic will have enough length to actually reach to get out of there. Look at that, I barely made it. Now we only need to tie the elastics and the neck will be attached to the body. Here you want to make sure that the other end of the elastic is short and you take all the looseness out of the elastics from the other end. So here I'm pulling the elastic really tight, and it's really tight indeed, as the neck can already pose and hold poses. So now we are ready to make our first knot. You want to pull this knot really tight, and after that you go and check that the neck is posing well, it's holding the poses, and then you can go and make the other knot. And finally we cut the elastics and we tuck them in the doll. And now we have successfully assembled the neck and head. Next, let's start with the front legs. The front and back legs looks pretty similar, so make sure that you grab the ones that have the smaller end. They are the front legs. So let's go and gather our pieces. I'll burn the end of the elastic. And now let's put the pieces through. The legs once again has one of these beams, and we gotta go and make the wire loop just like in the head. Once the loop goes through to the other side, you can go ahead and put the string through the loop, and once again make sure that you have enough elastic through, that once you pull it out, the elastic will be long enough to come out. After that, we grab our needle again and we get the elastic through the last leg parts. Next we go through the torso and make sure that you have enough elastic to go into the leg and come back out here again. We put the pieces through and we repeat the process the same as we did for the first leg. Once we are through the pieces, we gotta put the string through the torso again. Now we want to get all the extra elastic out, so make sure that you hold on to the shorter end of the elastic and then pull all the extras out from the other end. The legs are really easy to leave too loose, so check on the both legs that they are tight enough before you make any knots. Once you are sure that there is no extra elastic in, you can go ahead and make your first knot. Check that the legs holds their poses, and after that you can make and finish with the other knot. Then we cut the elastic and tuck the ends of it inside the doll. And now we have a fully functional front part of the dragon. Now we have only left the back legs and the tail. I will go ahead and start with the legs. And the editing me realizes here that it is way smarter to do the tail first, but here we go. These legs are a bit different. You can just grab your tweezers and pull the elastic through this tiny hole. And with our needle, we go back through the leg pieces. And once the leg is assembled, we can go through the hip to the other side. And on this side, we simply repeat the process. And once we are through, we go back through the hip to the other side. Now, same as with the front legs, we want to get all the extras out from the leg. So we go and pull through one leg and then the other. If you try to pull both of them at the same time, it won't really work. So go one leg at a time. And once you've pulled through the extras from both of the legs, you can go ahead and make your first knot. Make sure that the legs are tight and they pose as well. I have noticed that the back legs are definitely the most difficult ones to get tight enough, so remember to make sure that they are enough tight before you make the second knot. And then we finish off with the traditional cut and tug. And here you have it. You have your almost finished dragon doll. And next we will be assembling the tail. Finding the parts for this one will be pretty easy because there is nothing else left. Simply pick the ones from the biggest to the smallest. Once you've found your pieces, we go through with the elastic. And attaching the tail is actually the same as attaching the wings. So we will grab the elastic with our tweezers and push it down there until we can see it on the other side of the beam. Then we can grab the elastic end with our tweezers, pull it out. Once you have attached the tip of the tail, we grab our needle and we come through all those tail pieces. Once you're through, we're going to attach the tail to the body. And here you can actually see what I was saying, that you should probably rather attach the tail before the legs, because right now the legs elastic is a bit on the way. It's more difficult to see to the inside. You won't have this problem if you have the tail first and then the legs. But it is the same deal as with the neck, that you take your tool, your loop, and you will put it to the back of the beam, that way that it peeks through the other side of the beam. You will put the elastic through the loop, and then you can pull the wire out. And remember to make sure that you push enough elastic inside so there will be enough length to come out. Once we are out, you should know the roll. We tighten the elastic and then we make our first knot. you check that the tail holds poses and is tight enough, and then you can go ahead and make your other knot. And we tuck the final pieces of the elastic in. And there you have it, your assembled Salvador doll. And if you did assemble your doll while watching this video, I congratulate you, you did very well. And if you haven't tried this process yourself, I want to let you know that from me it takes about 20 minutes. Thank you for watching, I hope this video was helpful for you. And remember, if you ever have any problems or questions, you can contact us. The best ways to contact are our website contact forms and Instagram DMs. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next video.